Hey guys, what's up everyone? My name is Sauce in my corner. That last outro was so weird. It depends, okay, so I wonder, for the viewer, you the viewer, or if you watch this, is this a one-time thing? You've never seen my channel before. You know, you are only watching because it was on your recommended? Or are you watching because you were introduced by a previous episode and you just wanted to catch up? Or are you watching because you're binging? Very unlikely. All of those except for that last one. But I asked that question because I wonder, like, when I say things like that, so I record in sessions. I record a lot of episodes at once, which, you know, it's just how I do it. And because I do it that way, it's interesting because it's like, there's a lot of things that I do that kind of bleed into the next episodes, especially that outro I just did where I was like, oh, that was a weird outro. Like, you wouldn't know unless you're binging. Like, you would only be like, oh yeah, that's a weird outro if you just saw the outro before. Like, even if you saw it, like, if you're watching them as they come out, and then you hear that outro, you'll hear that intro, you'll be like, huh, I wonder what the last outro is, I don't remember it. And then if you're watching it, like, spontaneously, like a lot of people do, you'll be like, what are you talking about? Like, now I have to go back to the previous episode, see the outro, just to understand, like, what you said. It's a whole tangent, isn't it? It's just a whole thing that just doesn't make any sense the more you think about it, you know? I don't know. I paralyzed the Pidgey, and now I shock it, and it just... tragic. So the wax on one of the candles is bleeding out. I've talked about this as well in previous episodes, but I have candles. I have 4 candles. Wax is bleeding out on one of them, and the other one that I expect them to bleed out on has not yet bled out. But it is getting dangerously close, like teasing me with how close it is. It's tragic, isn't it? Anyway, let's go up. I think I'm going the right way. To my remembering, like, oh, I can. To my remembering, I am going the right way. This is correct. But I may be remembering just horribly wrong, you know? Like, sometimes I fear that I am, and that, like, my memory does not serve me right. And I mentioned things that I failed to mention prior, or I mentioned things and I thought I mentioned before. No, that's not what I meant. That's right. That's what I just said and what I said before were the exact same thing. In case you're wondering. Let's go this way. I didn't even heal. I don't really care. I want to avoid as many trainers on this route as possible just because I'm so tired of fighting trainers. And speaking of trainers, here's a trainer. The goal in this episode is to get to the next 4 Pokemon! Why? Who hurt you? I have nothing for this Oddish. This Oddish will destroy me, really. And it's only level 18, so like I shouldn't be like intimidated by this Oddish in the slightest, you know? It's like, just like, oh, here's an Oddish. But no, I am intimidated. Because look, I can't even one-shot it, and then it has status effects. Grass-type Pokemon are the worst. In the last Let's Play, I had a Fire-type and a Bird on my team at all times. If I needed to deal with a Grass-type, I straight up could. I don't have that luxury anymore. I can't deal with Grass-types as if they're not there, because they're there. And they're always going to be there. And I wish that I could escape from that Grass-type hell. But I can't. I can't escape from that Grass-type hell. I will always be against more Grass-types, and I missed my attack. And I will always be against more Grass-types, and more Grass-types that seek nothing but harm and pain to the player. The player, me, the one who plays the video game. And look at that, Sleep Powder again. the whole thing the grass types have that maybe makes them superior to the other two main starter types is the status effects. And I sometimes wonder if it's worth it to play anything else but the grass type in this generation specifically, because Ivysaur is cracked. Maybe not later, but at least right now in game, Ivysaur's cracked. You have Leech Seed, Poison Powder. Same time, that is devastating. Leech Seed, Poison Powder, let's see, what else do we have? Other status effects, but I think those two are the best ones, really. But you know, you have those things that serve to be helpful to you as the player, because you can just stall. You can stall and you can play like you've never played before. Cruel, unruly, and unforgiving. You can play and you don't even have to worry about what they think of the way that you've decided to play the game. You don't have to worry because they're AI. They don't care. You think there's any emotional damage there? You know, when you do the things you do to a human, they hurt. When you punch a human in the face, they will probably recoil, put their hand on their cheek, and say, ow. Maybe they'll start crying. Maybe they'll retaliate with a punch of their own. Maybe they'll stop. Maybe they'll stop and stare at you. You punch a wall. What is it gonna do? What is the wall gonna do when you punch it? Is it gonna be hurt? Is it gonna be offended? Is it gonna be sad? No. It's a wall. That wall doesn't care what you do to it. Maybe you care, because some things that you do will hurt you in the long term and be devastating. Maybe punching the wall makes you rely on punching the wall, and then once you punch a human, you realize, wow, this is a horrible tactic. This hurts me and the human I'm against. The wall can't punch you back. The wall can't punch you back, but what the wall can do is make you hurt. If you punch a wall, you'll hurt. If the wall could punch you, on the other hand, it wouldn't hurt. Everything the wall does to hurt you, it will never have to feel the downsides of. You want to know why? Because the wall can't feel. You can feel, you will hurt. The wall doesn't have those feelings, those emotions. The wall's none of that. And then you have to wonder, what's the point? I'm gonna punch this wall. And I don't want to punch this wall anymore. You know? I don't want to punch this wall and start to rely on punching walls to be able to do anything in my life. So you stop punching the wall. But somehow you still feel as if the wall is punching back. What will you do? What will you do when the wall keeps punching? You thought it couldn't punch before. Are you going crazy now? Is the wall punching you back? You can't tell anymore. You just know that you've stopped punching the wall, but you still feel the consequences because the wall doesn't feel the same pain you do when it punches things. You want to know why? The wall isn't alive. And this wraps back, in case you're wondering what the point is. This wraps back to Pokemon. But you have to wonder, you know, when you use moves like Leech Seed and Poison Powder and stalling the opponent as much as you possibly can. Why am I using Rapid Spin? You stall the opponent as much as you can. You have to wonder, is it worth it? Was it ever worth it? What's the point? I love Pokemon. That's the moral of the story. So I love Pokemon. And I really hate grass types. Because I have nothing to fight them with. Except for cold, hard truths. How are you? One of my favorite things to do is talk to myself. Oh, can I teach aerial ace to someone? That might be actually wonderful. Because I was just talking about how much I hate grass types. And aerial ace is good against them. Hello. Frito. And Bean. Okay. I might teach it to Frito, but I'll wait because, I mean, do I go up? No, I don't want to go up. That's dangerous, bad. I need to go this way because I am trying my best to avoid any conflict before Rock Tunnel because I know Rock Tunnel has been a point of contention for many years. It's actually not that bad in this game, but it still sucks because it's still Rock Tunnel. Like, no matter how many times you go through Rock Tunnel, like, it's still Rock Tunnel. Like, there's still that sense of hatred and resentment towards Rock Tunnel. Even if you've memorized the path, even if you know how to get through without really much danger at all, it's still Rock Tunnel. And I don't know if I'm ready for that again. Speaking of being ready for that again. Wow, do I hate this Caterpie. You know what I love is finding out new, like, resistances I didn't know before. Like, I will learn that bug type resists me. Yeah, bug type resists ground type. Which is odd to me. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, it makes sense if you, like, think about it logically, like, bugs live in the ground. They have to resist ground, because if, like, they get in, I almost said car accident. Wrong disaster. If they get in, like, when the people, the earthquake, they get an earthquake, they'll die. I wouldn't want them to die. I have a lot of love for the bugs in this world. As I think everyone should. And some people are scared of bugs. Some people fear what they don't understand. And they don't understand bugs. I understand bugs. I understand them. Because I understand that you need to resist ground. In case of them. Dude, the bug catcher looks like he shops in the boys section at Target. And to be honest, I do too. So I can't even make fun of him for that. Are we at Rock Tunnel yet? This is... Oh, 10. So, that way is the power plant, in case you... Okay. Yeah, if you go in the water, that's the power plant. But now we're at Rock Tunnel, which means a bit of an early end, but... do not want to start Rock Tunnel quite yet. I'll see you guys in the next one, where we will start Rock Tunnel. And maybe we'll stop doing this whole slam poetry thing. I'll see you guys next time.